to Busch Gardens Tampa. I'm honestly a little worried about this park. There's two parks on this trip that I'm worried about, and this is one of them. Because operating hours are 10 to 8, so that's a fairly late opening and a fairly early close. They also have so many coasters, and I've never been to this park, so that's a lot of new credits to get in such a short amount of time. And also, there's weather coming in. It's supposed to come in at 5. You know, that could be earlier, that could be later. So, I think the plan is, we have two plans. First, you know, obviously see what the crowds look like when we get there within the first hour or so, and if needed, get a quick queue. Otherwise, you know, I think we're gonna hit the stuff that's most popular and has like lowest capacity first. So like Cheetah Hunt, Cobra's Curse, Tigress, basically anything that's not a B&M, and then do the B&Ms on the second lap. So again, based on crowd level, and if I get a quick queue, you know, that could change. Obviously, it's a play by ear kind of thing, but yeah, let's head on over to Tampa. All right, it's 8:40. We just got to the parking tolls. They are not open yet. Park opens at 10. Not sure if they're opening the tolls at 9 or 9:30. So we'll either be waiting 20 minutes or 50 minutes. 50 minutes would not be ideal, but whatever. It's 9:40. We caught the first tram over. Not sure if they're gonna do a phased opening like Williamsburg did, or if they'll let us in and just wander around. I don't know. We'll find out. Apparently they're creating a new park entrance. That's fun. All right, 9:47. We're in at least the Main Street and Morocco section. I'm not sure if they're gonna, you know, have the ropes up for the rest of the areas. We will find out. It is already hot as hell, so today is about to be brutal. I'm thinking hit Iron Gwazi first and then go check on Cheetah Hunt and Cobra's Curse, and depending on how those lines are looking this early in the morning will determine if I get a quick queue or not. So I think that's gonna be the plan.
That's why I don't like riding for myself. There you go.
All right, so I just got back row, first ride of the day on Iron Gwazi. That thing was freaking amazing. Especially for literally being the first ride of the day, it was hauling. So I'd like to try to ride it again later in the day and see if it speeds up even more. Great ejector. You're getting absolutely pulled over the first drop. The double down. You're launched out of your seat on the death roll. Literally just everything about that was amazing. Yeah, see, it's already at a 40. So I'm gonna go check on, you know, Cheetah Hunt, Cobra's Curse, those lower capacity rides. Back to Gwazi, my only complaint was that like the seatbelt was, like the restraint was pulled down over the seatbelt and it was pinching my thigh, and that was uncomfortable. That's nothing to do with the ride though, and hopefully I can get that fixed if I ride again. I loved this thing. Not sure where it ranks up next to Vengeance. Most likely better than Wicked Cyclone in my opinion. As per usual, I'm gonna have to do a lot of thinking, but yeah, that was wonderful. All right, so it looks like Cheetah Hunt is delayed. I haven't seen a train go and the line's not open. And the line's fairly long. I mean, obviously it's gonna move quickly once it opens up, but I think I'm gonna check on Cobra's Curse. All right, this one appears to be open. No pre-show, but I'm not surprised. This looks to be a walk-on. That was a fun little ride. My first elevator lift. Honestly, this ride is like nothing I've ridden before. They let me bring my water bottle. It has a little hook, so they let me clip it on my fanny pack. So I didn't need a locker for this one, even though there's a moving walkway. Yeah, I mean, I know that there used to be audio on the lift and the snake used to speak and that wasn't on, but you know, little things. It was an enjoyable ride. You also get whipped over the top of that hill. That was crazy. All right, I have heard really good things about this invert. Let's see how it does. All right, that was also super enjoyable. The lift hill was like silent. It was long, it was intense, and it was pretty smooth for a B&M with those old vest restraints. I think in terms of intensity and smoothness, I would put it kind of on par with Banshee, which is good. Per usual, I still have to do some thinking as to which one I liked better. But yeah, I could probably ride, that's Cobra's Curse, but I could probably ride Montu 2, maybe 3 times in a row before calling it quits, similar to Banshee. I'm gonna check on Cheetah Hunt, but if it's not open or if the wait is over like a 45, I'm gonna carry right on to like Scorpion and Sand Serpent. So, oh yeah, Cheetah Hunt is still very much delayed. Yeah, we'll be coming back to this, hopefully. I think they're getting ready for Hallow Scream. I really want to come back and do this in SeaWorld. Hopefully that can happen within the next couple of years. Cheetah Hunt's doing their test runs, but I know that that's just gonna draw people into the line and we still don't know how long it's gonna take, so skipping it for now. Another Hallow Scream area. I love this cultish look. I'm gonna go this way because there's more stuff. Ooh. This is... I love this. I don't think it's Dia de los Muertos because that's usually up front and it's more fun than spooky. More Howl-O-Scream scare zones. This is the third one that I've come across. I'm pretty sure just in my walk from Montu to Scorpion. The first one might have been before Montu. I don't remember. So the first one kind of reminded me of like a haunted, infected forest. The second one, maybe voodoo. And this one, I mean, it looks like a graveyard and there's, you know, like an old abandoned church with some candles and whatnot. So maybe like witches, coven, that kind of thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they've announced most, if not all, of the houses and scare zones, so I could be totally wrong. That's just the vibe that I'm getting from walking through these not fully transformed scare zones during the day. Also, I know this park is huge, but this park is huge. I thought I missed Scorpion, so I picked up like, I pulled up the directions and I was like nowhere near there. Like I was heading in the right direction, but I just had so much longer to go. It's also 10:40, park's been open for 40 minutes. I walked on the first 3 rides. I don't want to jinx anything. It's not even 11 a.m. and I am dripping with sweat. Florida in August. This is really cool how they have like the shadow. Also, I see mist. Ooh, this is gonna be refreshing for about 2 seconds. All right, Falcon's Fury is closed. I don't know if you can read the sign. It's closed for maintenance. Kind of a bummer, but not the end of the world. Would I have liked to have ridden it? Yes, but you know, not a credit that I'm missing. I don't know if Scorpion's open yet. I mean, there's people in the station. Also not sure where the entrance is, so I could be being really stupid right now, but it looks like it's right past the lockers. All right, quick queue's chained off, but the regular queue is not, so I'm just gonna go in, and if they tell me it's closed, then it's closed. All right, I just got a Zen ride front row on Scorpion. That was a fun little ride. Smoother and more forceful than it looks. I know it's the only one of its kind still either in existence or in the US, I don't remember. But it was also designed by the manufacturer. Obviously this would never happen now, but to have so many positive G's that you could actually ride it without a lap bar and not fall out. And I definitely felt those positives, so good on their end, I guess. They achieved their goal. Obviously there are lap bars, but all right. I think I'm just gonna continue going around in the circle and hit Sand Serpent. Again, it's like, it's not even 11 o'clock. So I don't wanna jinx anything, I really don't, but this is also gonna be a walk on. All right, Sand Serpent was fine. It was a wild mouse, nothing special. You know, it wasn't super rough and like painful whippy, so that's good. 2 of the trims were like non-existent and 2 of the trims like hit super hard. Whatever. I mean, didn't give me a headache or like hurt my neck, so that's cool. Probably not gonna ride it again, but yeah. 4th, almost said HHN, Howl-O-Scream section I'm seeing. Demented Circus, Killer Clowns, that kind of vibe. Looks like they're transforming their bumper cars, so that's fun. And now I'm headed to Kumba. Hopefully I've heard good things. The only other sit down I've ridden is Hulk. Hopefully this is smoother than that. I think I'm gonna do front for this one though, just in case. All right, Kumbo is fun. You know, it's an old B&M. Obviously, it's gonna be a little bit of a rattle, but for the most part, especially considering its age, that was really smooth. Definitely smoother than Hulk, but honestly, probably almost as intense, if not just as intense. I might ride it again if there's time. Definitely not my favorite so far. I mean, I would do Montu and Iron Quasi again over this, but yeah, if there's time, why not? Damn, so dispatched when it was on the corkscrew. Damn, talk about fast ops. Bingo, bango, bongo, welcome to the Congo. I do have to say, it's very easy to get lost in this park. If I didn't have the app with the park map, I would be, I don't know where I would be. I'd be lost as heck. All right. Tigress time. It says 5-minute wait. And this thing has low capacity because it's not a full circuit, but I believe it. Back row, 1 cycle wait. This is the longest wait all day so far. Alright, that was fine. Definitely prefer it over Phobia in terms of forces. Having that third train, you really get pulled over the drop after the roll. That being said, it was a little shaky. Like, Phobia is definitely smoother. I sat back row and I did get pulled over it, so that was cool. All right, it's literally 11:30 and the only 2 coasters we haven't ridden aside from the kiddie coaster are Shikra and Cheetah Hunt. I think I'm gonna hit the bathroom and refill my water. That is also probably part of the reason why my head hurts a little bit, because I'm just a little dehydrated. So gonna go ahead and do that. Alright, so I left my water bottle on the sink in the bathroom, so I didn't have to bring it into the stall with me. And I guess a team member came in, was cleaning, and grabbed it because they thought it was like left behind. So now I'm waterless. I'm hoping if and when I go to Lost and Found later that it's there. Otherwise, I'm kind of screwed. It says Sheikah's a 10-minute wait, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that if I can find the entrance. And then the app says 75 for Iron Gwazi and 45 for Cheetah Hunt, so maybe I'll stop at Lost and Found on my way over there. I don't know if that's too soon. All right, this is unfortunate. I don't know how she found me, but right at the Sheikah entrance, apparently the team member who was in the bathroom recognized me. Maybe somebody else pointed me out, but she gave me back my water bottle. So that's cool. All right, that was fun. Definitely better than Valraven, Griffin, maybe not. So a similar thing happened to me, basically the same thing happened on this that happened on the mine train at Carowinds. This one, I guess, made a little more sense. Obviously, the dive coasters can fit 8 per row, and I was person number 7. I went across to put my water bottle down, and while I was over there, 2 people came in and sat in the seats, but the team member actually told them to get back in line so that I could sit. Again, like, I don't think that was anyone's fault, just inconvenient. All right, so I think this is the plan. I'm gonna go over to Cheetah Hunt, and then I'm probably gonna get a snack, and then head over to Iron Gwazi, suck it up, wait the 75. And then I'll kind of meander around. There's a show over by Sheikah that I want to see, a Cirque show, so I'd like to do that. I'd like to do the train, and I'd also like to do a lap of the park now that I'm basically finishing my first lap. See the animals, poke around in the shops, so that once all that is done, then I can, and you know, maybe some rewrites too, so that third lap will be just shopping, and I don't have to worry about getting a locker for the bags and my merch. Here's another Howlo Scream little thingy. I'm so exhausted. I'm like, I feel brain dead. Oh, this is the Shadows or the Darkness. I've seen videos of this one. It's really cool. But yeah, I feel like part of the reason why I'm getting annoyed by every little thing, I have been going nonstop for 8 days, so you know, I kind of did this to myself. Like I said, this park is really big and confusing. Whatever. All right, so we're gonna try and make our way over to Cheetah Hunt.
Ask that you refrain from smoking or vaping in any unmarked area. Please. All
right, well now it's saying 70, but I'm here, so I'm gonna wait. Yeah, I believe 70. At least this queue is all indoors and there's fans. All right, let's talk about Cheetah Hunt. It was fun. I'll give it that. It was a lot of fun. Very forceful, very long. However, I waited 80 minutes for it. I will never wait 80 minutes for that ever again. It was fun, but it was not worth 80 minutes. I was dehydrated and hungry, and Like I felt like I wasn't at my full potential to enjoy it. So I'm gonna head over, get a snack, and sit and eat. I'm heading through edge of Africa, Serengeti not outpost, but I don't know. I'm going through an animal section to take a little shortcut, and then I think I'm gonna end up looping around the park and checking out some of the animals after I'm done eating, getting on the train, going to Iron Gwazi, and then doing shopping, because the only real shops that I'm interested in are at the front of the park. So, oh, and I'm gonna do the show too by Sheepdog.
To Cirque Electric.
So that show, Cirque Electric, was absolutely phenomenal. I had a hunch and I confirmed with the tech that was a Michael Turco production. Turco also produced Frost at Six Flags New England, which I was a dancer in, so it was very satisfying, rejuvenating, exciting to see another one of his shows. I almost cried because it was just so nice to see one of those again. You know, it felt like I was home, which is weird, but I 1000% recommend. Amazing show, amazing.
Ese que me gusta mucho a mí. Miren, no la dejen paz. No es su bebé. Este me encanta, Dios mío, los hijos todos.
Alright, Iron Gwazi's currently posted as a 60. Screw it, I'll wait. I'd like to get another ride, and I highly doubt that the wait time is going to go down before things start shutting down for weather. So, whatever. I mean, it's currently 3:55. After this, I'm probably going to check out the shops, maybe do some shopping, hop on the train, or vice versa, get some food, and then leave. Because I'm exhausted.
Elderly guests, expectant mothers, those with high blood pressure, and guests with heart, neck, back, or physical limitations that could prevent normal seating or use of the safety restraints provided. All riders must be wearing under 8 years before they will leave them with a non-rider. For your safety, you must be a minimum of 48 inches.
Please, once again, please look at your lap guard, all of your seatbelts and take a step back in line, please.
Either it just went down or somebody puked. That's funny. Alright, so lightning struck within, I believe, within the 10-mile radius, so down for weather. I looked at the radar and it just looks like the storm's getting closer. It wasn't supposed to start until 6, but Florida man, right? So I'll see if the train is still open. I really hope it is, because I wanted to do that. And then some shops, and yeah, call it a day. I mean, if this opens back up, I'll get back on it, but I'm not counting on it. Alright, it's 4:17. Next train is supposed to either get here or depart at 4:30. Hopefully it doesn't shut down for weather before that. That's all I gotta say.
Alright guys, so I got some bad news. There is lightning in the area. So, everybody has to exit the train. Exit is located in front and back of the station. I repeat, everybody does have to exit the train because of lightning in the area.
Alright, looks like we're gonna shop and then we're gonna leave.
recycling containers. Thank you.
Am I just looking in the wrong place, or is this, aside from Nano Coasters, all the coaster merch they have? Like, I'm not seeing anything. I mean, this is the main store, the Emporium, but I mean, I know they have like magnets and stuff, but I don't need any. I wanted a shirt or something, you know. I really like this one. It says Busch Gardens on the front, and on each of the sleeves it has the coasters plus Falcon's Fury. Yeah, but it's long sleeve and gray. I wouldn't wear that because that's gonna get sweaty even when you're not sweaty. I guess these are cute. I want it. They are felt. I don't know. I'll keep looking, but I wish there was more. Also, it's thundering and raining. I'm on my way out. I just want to get some sort of souvenir. Wait a second. I thought I was in Florida. Okay, so I found one of those felt pendant magnets for Iron Gwazi, so I got one of those, and then they had bamboo postcards, so I got an Iron Gwazi and a greetings from Busch Gardens. Alright, I hope that the trams are still working, otherwise that would really suck for me. Alright, I mean, I saw this sign at the beginning of the day, kind of tucked away, but it's out. So I'm just going to go ahead and assume that that means that no trams. So I'm gonna walk. Also, I know I've been kind of bleh in the last video or two. Take that with a grain of salt. I've been on the road doing stuff nonstop for 8 days now. I did really enjoy this park, and while I am, you know, disappointed about the rain and storms, you know, first of all, it's Florida in the summer. It's inevitable. I got everything done that I needed to do, or that I wanted to do, at least once, except for the train. I really wanted a second ride on Iron Gwazi. Didn't get it, but I got one, right? Train sucked because we were about to leave, and then rain hit. But, you know, silver lining and everything. It is currently about 5:30, and it's a 4-hour drive to my next hotel, and I was gonna stop and get gas and Dunkin', so maybe I'll get to my hotel by 10. Hopefully there's no traffic, knock on wood. Yeah, some unfortunate things did happen today. I still enjoyed the park, and I would like to come back and hopefully have an experience where those unfortunate things do not happen. But, oh well. I said I was worried about 2 parks on this trip. I'm worried about 3. I'm supposed to be at Six Flags Over Georgia tomorrow, and forecast says it's going to be storming from tonight all the way through tomorrow. So I don't even know if anything's going to open at the park tomorrow. I'm genuinely scared for that, you know. Buy the ticket, pay for parking, nothing opens. Probably won't get a refund because, you know, that's how the stuff works. But just fingers crossed. All right, some thoughts on Busch Gardens. Started off, went right to Iron Gwazi, was hoping they wouldn't be delayed. They weren't. They opened right on time. It looked like it was hauling during testing, and it absolutely was hauling. Like you guys know, I got back row first ride of the day. I wish I could have gotten a second ride. I wasn't able to because of weather, but hey, at least I got one, and it was really good. I know I said that the seatbelt, the seatbelt and the lap bar were kind of pinching my thigh, a little uncomfortable. I had to adjust during the ride, but you know, that's no one's fault. Yeah, that was definitely my favorite ride at the park. Amazing. I enjoyed it. I think I said it before, but it's going to be really hard comparing that to Vengeance and what I like better. Cheetah Hunt was delayed. Cobra's Curse walked right on, and that has a really low capacity, so I was surprised by that. That was also really fun. I've never ridden that kind of coaster. So yeah, it was a fun new experience. I would do it again. I know it's a family coaster, and not all family coasters are equal in intensity and excitingness, and this one was definitely on the higher end of that. Montu as well. Walked right on back row. I had the row to myself. Like I said, the lift hill was silent. Super forceful, but super smooth. I mean, as smooth as you can be as a fairly aged B&M, or just a B&M in general. It was really fun. I know I said I'm gonna have to think about how that measures up next to Banshee, because they felt very similar in intensity and smoothness. I really like the interaction with the trenches. I feel like even just that extra couple of feet down really added to the positive G's. Yeah, those were crazy. I enjoyed it. After that, I went over to Scorpion. That was fun. I got a Zen ride front row. You know, not something that I would probably like make an effort to go on again. But I'm glad I did it. But that's a historic ride, so that's pretty cool. Sand Serpent got right on. I was the only one in my car. Wild Mouse, nothing special, smooth. Some of the trims were like really heavy. Some of them were basically non-existent. So definitely one of the better wild mice that I've ridden, but you know, it's a wild mouse. I'm thinking Dark Knight Coaster at Great Adventure might be its only contender. I'll have to think back at all the wild mices that I've ridden. But Dark Knight Coaster has some really good theming, being indoors. So I'll do some thinking about that. Went over to Kumba, walked right on front row. Super fun, super smooth. Yeah, especially given its age. Like, there was a little bit of a rattle, especially towards the end, but genuinely nothing unbearable. Like, if I had time, or if I come back again, I'll 100% ride that again. Tigress, definitely better than Phobia. Have to think about Tempesto, because it's been a while since I've ridden that, and that one, if I'm correct, also has 3 cars on the train. But Tigress was definitely a little rattly. Not necessarily side-to-side head banging, and I wouldn't call it jackhammering either, but it was, you know, more of the up and down, kind of like forcing you into your seat and jolting around. You know, again, not unbearable, but I don't, unless Tempesto was rough and I don't remember it. I've never ridden one of those shuttle coasters, skyrockets, with such a rattle. So that was a little unusual. You guys know the mishap with the water bottle in the bathroom. So that was a little frustration, you know. kind of put a damper on the day. I don't want to say it ruined my day, because it didn't, but it definitely changed my mood. Again, I'm tired. It was really hot. You know, once you reach day 8 of a road trip, you're going to start getting a little cranky at the little things. Same thing with the people who came into my seat on Shikra, and I mean, the ride attendant gave me my seat back. Like, again, it was whatever, but you know, just the tiny little things are starting to get to me. But I'm not holding either of those against my opinion on the park. Shikra was totally fine. The entrance attendant, I don't know if it was because I was wearing a Cedar Point shirt today, but he was like, you know, the secret message or password, or I don't know, he said something like, the real thing to say is Shikra's better than Valraven. And I'm like, well, haven't ridden Shikra, but I didn't enjoy Valraven as much as I hoped I would, so you're probably right. Yes, I 100% agree. I'm not sure how it's going to measure up to Griffin. I'm pretty sure Griffin has one more inversion. I think Griffin has 2 and Shikra has 1. But that dive off of the brake run, off the blocks, into the little tunnel before the splashdown, that was cool. However, Griffin, when they're holding you over the initial drop, you know, they have the painting on the ground of like the Coke bottle that says "say ah," that you can, like, the angle to see. It's meant to be looked at from the top of the coaster. Shikra doesn't have that. So I don't know, it was really good. I wanted to get another ride on that too, and I definitely will if I go back. Finally got around to Cheetah Hunt. It was posted as 70. I waited 80. When I got off, it was posted as an 80. That was kind of annoying, you know, just because nobody likes waiting in long lines. I was getting very hungry, and so I was trying to not go stir crazy in line. The ride was definitely really fun. I know it's similar to Cobra's Curse in the sense that it's, you know, built to be a family coaster, but it was way more intense than your typical family coaster, especially those second 2 launches. You know, the first one is kind of just to get you started, but those second 2, you're really getting somewhere. I got a nice pop of floater coming up out of that second launch into the figure 8 or whatever they call it. There wasn't really any crazy ejector moments. It wasn't like, definitely wasn't the most forceful launch coaster or Intamin that I've ridden. You know, it had like the close to the ground S-bends and whatnot, kind of like Maverick and I-305, like those S-bends, but you know, this was taken with not nearly as much speed. So while it was fun, and that definitely felt like the fastest part of the ride just because you were moving between the elements so quickly, definitely wasn't as forceful in that section as I thought and hoped it would be. You know, still fun, but I was like, oh, I thought it would be a little whippier, especially because I was in back row. But it's whatever. I can see why that's such a popular ride. It's super duper fun. I would never wait 80 minutes for that again. You know, I did it for the credit. I'm like, you know, there's weather coming. I'm probably not gonna find another chance lower. So then I went to Twisted Tales for a pretzel. I thought I saw that they had the pizza pretzels on the menu. I don't know if I'm just dumb or if they did and then they got rid of it. But I was hoping for one and they didn't have them, so I just got a regular pretzel. I mean, it was delicious. Definitely better than the regular pretzel at SeaWorld yesterday. I don't know, this one just felt a little warmer, fresher, butterier, softer. Not to say that the one at SeaWorld wasn't any of those things. It just felt like this one was more of those. So yeah, that was good. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I went around and looked at some of the animal exhibits. Not everybody was out. I didn't see the tigers. I didn't see the lions. There was one orangutan. He was hanging out at the top of one of his towers. And I mean, you know, there's no guarantee at like the parks at zoos or anything, you know, that you're gonna see animals. It's kind of just a hit or miss. It depends on the time of day, like if they're fed or if they're hungry, if they're tired. It depends on, you know, like a lot of the times they're more active in the morning or right after storms and rain. So yeah, I mean, I saw what I saw. I didn't see what I didn't see, you know, not the end of the world. And then I went to the show, Cirque Electric. I had a hunch immediately once I looked at the stage that it was a Turco show, and then, you know, I saw like the layout of the acts and like the order, and just like the style of dance, you know, like opening dance number, Cirque act, transition dance number, Cirque act, contemporary dance number, 2 Cirque acts, dark transition dance number, Cirque act, and then finale dance, and then bows. I'm like, and then they had like a little announcement, like, or like restate the performer's name. I'm like, this is definitely Turco. It made me super happy. I really enjoyed that show. Either that or my ride on Iron Gwazi was the highlight of my day. Yeah, I confirmed with the tech booth after, like, it was a Turco show. I love, like, Turco is the name of the guy who produces it, by the way, Michael Turco. He's a magician. He works with, you know, the Cirque artists, and he comes to a lot of the theme parks. I mean, I knew he did New England and Great Adventure, but apparently he does Busch Gardens Tampa as well. So that was really cool. It was a nice unexpected surprise. Yeah, then I went to go get on Iron Gwazi again. It was a posted 60-minute wait. I know the ops are notoriously slow, or so I've heard. The line didn't look like a 60, but it very well could have been if the ops were slow. But after maybe 3 cycles of waiting in line, so like maybe 10 minutes, 15 max, you know, they announced that they were down for lightning in the area. I looked on the radar and it was like 8-point-something miles. And this was around this time. And my app said the storms weren't supposed to start until 6 or 7. So I figure, you know, it's just going to get worse from here. So I opted to not wait and try and get on the train before that shut down for lightning. I was in the station, I was waiting, the train came up, I got on, they had finished loading, they were giving the spiel, like, you know, no eating, drinking, or smoking, stay seated, if something falls out, don't jump out, like, tell one of us after the train stops. And then all of a sudden, like, they were testing cheetah hunt too. They were testing it, I assumed, to open up after the weather. But, you know, then they told us, hey, we're actually down for lightning in the area, gotta get off. I looked at the radar and it was within 5 miles. So at this point, I was like, yeah, no, like, if it's within 5 miles, like, basically everything, or at least everything that I want to ride, is going to be down. Like, I don't know, the carousel and the kiddie rides might still be running, but I don't want to do those. So I went over to the Oasis Pizza, which is also where the Giraffe Bar and the annual pass holder lounge are. I got, you know, they had like the flatbread pizzas, and I thought I was super hungry, but then when I got in line, I wasn't super hungry, so I just got the kids meal. He literally just ripped the flatbread in half, and that was $10 plus tax for that, plus fries, and would be a drink, but I just filled it in my water bottle. Whereas the full pizza was, I believe, $14 plus the fries was like another $5 or $6. but it, you know, I was happy with the portion that I ended up getting. I ate out on the back patio that overlooks the Serengeti. You know, there was an ostrich and some giraffes that I could see. They were pretty far back, so the zoomed in video is not the best quality. There was an ibis walking around. It was nesting season for the ibis, so, you know, they had a couple signs like, hey, pardon our appearance, they're currently nesting. If you see any of these birds, like, in distress, please let us know so that we can, you know, do what we gotta do. But yeah, that was cool. Then, you know, I started seeing lightning, hearing thunder. You know, I looked on the radar and it was within, like, I think 0.88 miles. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, we're just gonna look through the shops, try and get a souvenir and head out. So I did just that. Went through the shops at the front of the park in Morocco, got a couple of souvenirs, which I will put a picture in right now if I remember. I got 2 bamboo postcards and then the iron gauzy pendant magnet. You know, I was thinking about getting that shirt, but gray plus long sleeves just equals sweat and sweat stains. And then there weren't really any other shirts that like really spoke to me, and I didn't want to get more shirts unless they really spoke to me because I already had so many, and I'll probably end up getting more. I have 3 more parks and 1 more city, so, you know, I'll probably end up getting another shirt. But yeah, and then the tram service was down, so I walked back to the car, but luckily, because I was one of the first people in the parking tolls at the start of the day, I was basically parked right next to the first tram station, so it wasn't too bad of a walk. You know, it kind of felt like if you've ever walked to your car from Six Flags New England instead of taking the tram. I thought it was going to feel like a much longer walk, but it felt like that, maybe a little longer. The good thing was, you know, it was a little drizzle, but the storm was behind me. I was walking away from the storm. Obviously, I know I'm not actually outrunning the storm, but, you know, it was behind me, moving towards me, but I was walking away from it, so I was only walking in the drizzle, so my shoes didn't get wet, and that's good because I did not want to blow dry them 3 nights in a row. Yeah, overall thoughts, the park, it's huge. Like, it's huge. We'll put in the number of miles that I walked today, and then for comparison, we'll put the other parks on the trip so far. So I don't know what those numbers are going to be. But yeah, this park, freaking huge. Also, really confusing. I'll admit it, I got lost. I took a couple wrong turns multiple times. Like, I made the mistake, and then when I came back around, I made the same mistake. So having the app for the park map is definitely useful. Yeah, so just keep in mind it's going to take you some time to get from place to place, and you might get lost along the way, because I sure as hell did. I would definitely like to come back and visit this park. I want to get on the train. I want to obviously get more rides on Iron Gwazi, and I'd like to do the other B&Ms too. Shikra, Kumba, Montu. I wouldn't mind getting on those again. And Cheetah Hunt. So yeah, and I know I've said I'd like to come down for Hello Scream. We walked through a couple of scare zones. Obviously they weren't like fully ready. Like, Hello Scream doesn't start for another couple of weeks. But it looked cool. So yeah, I definitely want to come back to this park at some point. I know the inconveniences were not really the park's fault. Most, if not all of them, were, you know, out of people's control. It was just, you know, unfortunate things that happened. And like I said, I am, you know, cranky. This is day 8 of nonstop traveling and go. So I'm also just super tired. So I want to come back to this park when I'm not tired so that I can enjoy it to its fullest potential. All right. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on Busch Gardens Tampa in regards to where it sizes up to the other parks in my top 10 or top 15 or whatever. I'll have to do some thinking, but I did really enjoy it. We have 3 more parks left on this trip, 4 more days. So I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's, guess what? A 3.5 hour drive to the park and then another 4-hour drive to my hotel afterwards. So I'm gonna head to bed.